talk a little bit about what it's like to become a YouTuber on this episode of The Local Disaster Tour Guide. Hello travelers and tourists, my name is Mark and I am the Local Disaster Tour Guide. That's right, I'm a storyteller here to tell you my story of how I became a slightly successful YouTuber. Emphasis on slightly, seriously. Welcome to a journey through the fantastic world of TTRPGs like Pathfinder and Starfinder, and today actually we're not going to be talking about TTRPGs, at least not directly, and instead what I want to do is talk a little bit about my experience becoming a YouTuber. Now there are a couple of reasons why I decided to do this today. Recently from the channel No Nat Once, No Nat has been putting up some videos encouraging people who are interested in becoming YouTubers and becoming content creators to go ahead and take a dive, to join in the community, take a shot, record a video, and enter into this fascinating world and this fascinating conversation. And I wanted to kind of build on that conversation. I really appreciate that No Nat is encouraging people to step into content creation, and I wanted to lend my voice to that. And the second reason is, honestly, I just needed a simple video to fill a time slot. Longtime viewers of this channel may know that recently, as of the publication of this video, my son had to have surgery, and to be honest, while I am recording this, I don't know exactly how long the recovery time is going to be, and so I needed a simple video that I could record to possibly fill in a time slot while I am helping my son recover. By the way, as I've said previously, I appreciate every prayer, every happy thought, every positive vibe, any general expression of goodwill towards me, towards my family. Thank you very much. I have a fantastic community and I appreciate all of you. So I thought this would be a good conversation, and I could offer some insight to people who might be thinking about trying this YouTube thing, and let you know what my experience has been like. So in this video, I'm going to talk about how I became a YouTuber. I'm going to talk about some of the tips I would offer someone who is considering being a YouTuber, and hopefully, more than anything else in this video, much like No Nat has been doing on his channel, I hope you hear encouragement that maybe this is something you want to try, and if so, give it a shot. I'm not joking when I say this is a ton of fun for me, and I am super excited that this is something I kind of get paid to do. So, let's get started. So, my journey to becoming a professional YouTuber started pretty simply. I was bored out of my mind and needed something to do. And I'm serious about that. My channel started in April of 2020 during the earliest stages of the COVID pandemic. Like many people, I had been laid off and I was stuck at home, and I'm one of those people that I go stir crazy just a little too easily, so I knew I needed to do something to keep my mind occupied or I wasn't going to handle the stress well. And I had thought about doing YouTube in the past. It seemed kind of interesting, but here I was stuck at home with nothing to do and lots of time to do something. So really, more than anything, my journey as a YouTube content creator started out as me just needing to fill a gap in my schedule. Really, my intent with this channel when I first started was just to have some conversations about my favorite hobby and maybe meet some new people and talk about my favorite games. It has been very important, I think, to the success of my channel that my motivation in doing this channel has primarily been because I was interested. It was something to try. Now, I have crossed the threshold where I am actually paid to do YouTube. For those of you who might be wondering what that looks like, in order to start showing ads on your channel and get paid some of the revenue that comes from that ads, you have to hit and maintain certain thresholds in order to qualify for that program. The two main thresholds is you need to have at least 1,000 subscribers and you need to have at least 4,000 watch hours in the last year in order to qualify. Now, one of the things I've heard from a lot of YouTubers who have passed that threshold is that the 1,000 viewers and 4,000 watch hours seem to hit pretty close to one another, and my experience was kind of that as well. I hit 4,000 watch hours a little bit faster than I hit 1,000 viewers, but the separation between those two was, I think, a little less than 2 weeks. Last year, in the middle of 2021, I officially crossed the threshold and was able to apply to be part of the YouTube Partner Program. Now from there, I think it's important to go ahead and establish kind of a scale of what it means to be successful in the YouTube industry, because since the middle of 2021, when I officially became a YouTube partner, when I crossed that threshold into paid YouTuber land, I have made somewhere in the neighborhood of about $800. So let's just go ahead and be honest. Right now, I am very early in my YouTube career, and that $800, it's not like it's broken up evenly every month. It just comes in small chunks here and there that I've gotten it, but it's slowly doing a little better and a little better. But to be honest, I've been doing YouTube for over 2 years, and the money that I'm getting from YouTube right now is date night money for me and my wife. It's not serious income. And I think it's important to understand that if you're interested in doing YouTube, because you can build a successful career out of this, but that is often very far down the road, and you need to understand the road that you're going to walk if you want to go that direction. Now, please understand, I'm not trying to dissuade people from entering the YouTube sphere. Like Nonad has said, we need more voices. We need more people out there making videos, spurring conversations, interacting with people. This is a fantastic community, and I only want this community to grow. I want there to be more voices. I just want people who are stepping into this to have a realistic expectation of this is what the journey might look like. And that brings me to the first piece of advice that I would give someone who is thinking about becoming a professional YouTuber, and that is, do it because it sounds fun, not for the money. I'm not saying you can't be successful. I'm not saying that you can't get income from YouTube. Obviously, I have crossed the threshold where I am starting to do that. And to be honest, it's pretty cool. But I'm a little over 2 years into this game, and $800 in 2 years is not what you would call making bank. I guess this is a good place to go ahead and encourage people to do all of the YouTube stuff like liking, sharing, subscribing to help the channel grow, and also tell people to check out my Discord and my Patreon. Did you know that for as little as $3 per day, you too can help feed a starving YouTube content creator on Patreon? Seriously, I hope everyone who's listening to this video knows I'm not complaining about the money I've made on this channel. I appreciate the YouTube Partner Program. I appreciate the sponsor that I had the last couple of months and any future sponsors I might get, and I definitely appreciate my fantastic patrons. But the money that I get from this channel is secondary to that original reason that I started this channel, which is I wanted to do something fun. I wanted to try something new. I wanted to get out there and have conversations about my favorite hobby. This channel for me is far more than a side hustle, and this channel for me is far more than an income stream. This channel is an opportunity for me to meet new people, to talk to people from all around the gaming sphere, from all around the world. I've got to have conversations with people from different countries. I've gotten to talk to professionals inside of the gaming industry. I've gotten to have all of these cool, fantastic conversations, And I've gotten to meet people through this platform that I probably never would have met if it wasn't for YouTube. And I'm not joking when I say that's the best part of this job. I get to nerd out with new friends every week as part of my semi-professional YouTube channel. That's amazing. And I really think one of the key elements of any successful YouTube channel is, do you enjoy the work? Every job is stressful, and behind the screen of this camera, there's a lot of stress associated with trying to keep a YouTube channel running. There are expectations from YouTube, there are expectations from my community. There are a lot of things that go into having a successful channel, and even as fun as this is, there is stress with the job, and with any job, stress will eventually get you if you don't enjoy what you're doing. Now, I'm not too big to work in any particular spot or any particular career. I'm not above certain work. But I do know that the work I have done in my life that has truly been the best work has always been done in a context where I enjoy what I'm doing. And that means you want to have fun when you're doing it. So, tip number one, if you want to become a successful YouTuber, is step into this world because you're interested, because you're excited, because you're curious, because you enjoy it. And to that effect, don't start a YouTube gaming channel if you're not interested in gaming. There are all kinds of YouTube channels out there that cover all kinds of content, and yes, you may be a gamer, but if that's not something you really enjoy discussing, find something you do enjoy discussing, because your passion for the topic is going to be what's going to carry you through the difficult aspects of the job. Now, the second tip that I have for anyone who is interested in becoming a YouTuber is to develop a rhythm. Now, I don't want to dive into all of the complexities of the algorithm and how videos get pushed and seen when it comes to YouTube, but I will tell you this: having a rhythm is far more important than having a particularly successful video. My most successful video to date is my video that was done as a reply to No Nat 1's video on wizards. And I got all kinds of views from that video. But I can tell you that that video would not have been sufficient for my channel to be successful. The success of my channel truly has been in the week-by-week grind that comes in regularly producing content for people to enjoy. And it seems strange to say that a video with hundreds of hours of views and thousands of individual views is less important than a series of videos with 10 to 20 hours and maybe 300 to 400 views apiece. But if you look at the behind the scenes numbers, that regular rhythm of content that I put out is where my success is found. Yeah, I got a good jump from No Nat, but that never would have been enough on its own, and if I rested solely on one successful video, this channel would not be doing as good as it is today. And what that means for you as a potential content creator is you have to find your rhythm. Now, every channel has a different rhythm. My channel's rhythm, honestly, is probably more aggressive than you should do. From the research that I have done around being a YouTuber, my content pace is actually probably too aggressive, but bear in mind that this channel started because I was bored and needed something to do, not because I was actually chasing the dollars to begin with anyways. What I'm saying is, I really enjoy talking to you guys. Please help keep me entertained. But one of the most important things I've done as a YouTube content creator is just develop a rhythm about when I make videos, how I make videos, and keeping a very steady stream of content that is available, whether it's big videos, whether it's small videos. That regular production schedule has gone a long way to the success of this channel. And here I would like to share what is probably one of the most powerful pieces of personal motivation that I use, and that is one of my life mantras. Motivation is just confirmation bias for whatever it is you're already doing. I'll go ahead and admit most people don't seem to understand what I'm saying when I say that, A lot of people think of motivation or maybe inspiration as this sort of magical thing that just strikes you out of nowhere, when the real psychological research is that's not how motivation works. Motivation naturally builds over time as you approach a particular goal or a particular milestone that is important to you. If you're running a race, the closer you are to the goal, the more motivated you become to hit that goal. And if you've ever run a race, you know that when you can see the goal in sight, it's like there's extra energy inside your body that wasn't there a half a mile earlier, because now that the goal is in sight, suddenly you are motivated to get it done. In other words, your brain is naturally biased to push you in the direction you are already going. Motivation is just a confirmation bias for what you're already doing. And that means developing a rhythm is one of the best things you can do as a YouTube content creator, because in developing that rhythm, you naturally develop motivation for the next project, the project after that, for the videos you're going to be doing. Motivation will help carry you through the rough spots in scripting and recording and editing new content. For tip number 3, the next thing that I would encourage people who are interested in becoming successful YouTubers to do is to build connections. Now, this is something that will happen accidentally, but that you also want to be purposeful about doing if you are trying to build and grow a YouTube channel. I mentioned previously one of the big moments for my channel was my interaction with NoNat through the Wizard videos and later appearing on his channel. Getting to know NoNat was a big moment that really helped push my channel up to a new level of performance. And by the way, I don't know if NoNat's going to watch this or not, but NoNat, if you see this, know that I genuinely appreciate all the encouragement that you gave me last year in helping this channel to grow. You were wonderfully supportive. Thank you, man. But another big thing that I have done that has helped this channel to succeed and to reach those important milestones has been developing relationships with other people that are in the YouTube sphere, and because of what I do for my channel, in the gaming sphere. I've worked a lot with Drew from Team Player Gaming. I've worked a lot with Goat King Dice. I've worked a lot with Tommy from Black Dragon Gaming, and I've also made connections with several other Pathfinder 2e content creators. On top of that, I've also made connections with people who are in the gaming industry. I've gotten to talk to Stephen Glicker and Mark Seifter and other people who are from Paizo, and I've gotten to build a number of connections in and around the gaming sphere and the YouTube sphere, all of which have directly or indirectly served to benefit my channel. The reality is, I produce a product, these videos, and in order for those products to be successful, I need to be connected to people. YouTube channels don't do well when they are disconnected from their community. And it is in working with channels bigger than me and smaller than me, and working with people who have connections inside of the industry that I love, that helps my channel to grow. So if you're a YouTuber who wants to grow your channel, work on building connections. And let me say this, I imagine most YouTubers are really surprised that people think they're celebrities. I've had it happen a few times that people have gotten to speak to me and they will refer to me as a celebrity, and to be honest, I don't think of myself that way. I think of myself as a nerd talking about his favorite hobby. People act excited or intimidated to talk to me, and really I'm just like, hey, cool, it's a new nerd I can have fun conversations with. The honest truth is, behind the scenes, when I've talked to other YouTubers and other people who are in this industry, they're real people having fun doing stuff that they love, and most of the time they are excited to talk to you too. You obviously want to be respectful and kind and thoughtful in your approach to building connections, that goes without saying, but one of the best things you can do for success in this sphere is build connections. The fourth tip I have for someone who's trying to build a YouTube channel is experiment with your content. And there are several reasons to do this. First and foremost, experimenting with your content goes back to the very first point that I made, which is do it because it sounds fun. Building a successful YouTube channel is always going to come back to whether or not you're having fun, whether or not you're passionate about the subject. And tip number 2, get in a rhythm. Tip number 3, build connections. That's important business strategy stuff. Those are key skills that you want to develop. But the reality is, it's very easy to turn any job into a monotonous lull if you aren't careful. And one of the ways you can keep the excitement alive as a YouTube content creator is just to experiment with your content. To be honest, this video is an experiment. I needed an easy video to fill a time slot while I'm taking care of my son, and I thought, hey, let's try this video. If no one watches it, what do I lose? The second reason you want to experiment with your content is you never know when an experiment is going to lead to an important discovery or development for your channel. Maybe no one watches this particular video, or maybe for one reason or another, this video is an important point in the growth of my channel. Maybe it has significantly more views than is normal. Or maybe something I talk about in this video spurs a conversation that becomes an important conversation on this channel. Or maybe just making this video leads to an important business connection. Who knows? Because you never know when an experiment is going to open a new door or create a new opportunity. And experimentation often creates beautiful moments that can lead to the long-term success of your channel. Finally, and this is even more important, experiments are important because failure is important. Let me just say this as a content creator. This is a very difficult job because I'm having half of a conversation before you ever offer any replies. I can't see your face. I don't know what you're going to type in the comments section. I have no idea how my words are going to land when they are presented to you, and yet I have to power my way through this conversation without any feedback whatsoever. And I know that I've had failures. I know that there have been videos that have done abysmally. I know that I've had videos that completely failed to connect. I know that I have made mistakes in the content that I've put out on this channel. And in the last year, I've even had videos that came out so bad, I didn't post them. Seriously, there's about 9 videos saved on my computer right now. One of them may or may not come out eventually. I don't know if I want to use it or not, but 8 of them for sure you all will never see. I have had duds, but I've learned from them. Even when you make mistakes, you learn. You realize, oh, I messed this up. That's not how I wanted to do it. Oh, I can see why this was a problem. Part of growth is having missteps. Part of growth is failing. Part of growth is being willing to make mistakes. And if you get too comfortable staying inside a box that you know you can operate inside of, you're never going to learn because you're never going to have a failure. So experimenting forces you to push your boundaries, forces you to make mistakes, forces you to learn and grow and get better at what you do. So if you want to be a successful YouTube content creator, you gotta experiment. And then tip number 5 is my down the road tip for your YouTube channel. This is one that you want to save until you've got a decent bit on your journey as a content creator. Once you have a view of what your channel is going to be, then take the time to decide where it fits in your life and what it means to you. Last year when I had that channel growth spurt that was associated with my interactions with NoNat, and I began to push towards those thresholds where I realized, oh, my channel is going to be monetized someday, I came to a point where I suddenly had to reevaluate what my channel was. As I said, this channel started because I was bored and needed something to do, and I was just going to make videos as long as I needed some conversations. But all of a sudden, I found myself in a position where, okay, there are some real financial consequences, good consequences, but real financial consequences of my decision to have this channel. I had to stop and have some real conversations with my wife. I had to have some real reflection for myself. What does this channel mean to me? And at the end of the day, while I am super excited that this is a job, while I'm really excited that I get to have connections to the gaming industry and grow this community, I very quickly realized that this job is a side hustle for me. Now, those of you who are fans of this channel have probably heard me mention a few times, my in real life job is chaplaincy and pastoral care. I take care of people. And that's always going to be my real job. There's never going to be a day where I'm not a chaplain. There's never going to be a day where I would turn down a phone call because someone needs to talk to a pastor. I know that my real job will always be in that line of work. This job, YouTube, is a side hustle. And no matter how big this channel gets, I can make $1 million a day with this channel, and this channel would always be second place for me because I realize the work that drives me on a daily basis is not YouTube. Which is among the reasons that I'm okay with the slow pace of growth that my channel often has. This is my hobby. This is a fun conversation. This is me hanging out with my nerdy friends, and sure, I get some cash from it, but at the end of the day, this is something I do for fun. That's what it means to me. You all are a cool group of people that I get to hang out with, that I get to talk nerdy stuff with, and we get to have fun conversations. And even if I wasn't getting money from the channel, I'd still be doing it because it's fun. If you are interested in becoming a YouTube content creator, yes, there is a point where the financial side becomes part of the equation, but you want to have that conversation with yourself or with your family about the financial equation in the context of what does your YouTube channel mean to your overall life. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, any job you do is just part of who you are, and you never want an obsession with a job to become something that eats up something that is important in your life. So, when you get a little bit down the road as a YouTuber, take the time to decide what your channel truly means to you, and then build your channel, build your community, build your product with that in mind. But that's all that I've got for you today, so the time has come to turn the conversation over to you. Do you have any questions about what it's like to be a YouTube content creator, or to be a TTRPG content creator, or what it's like to build connections inside the gaming industry? My channel is small, so I can talk about what it's like to be a small fish in a big pond that's just kind of crossed the threshold into success. If you've got questions about what it's like to be a YouTube content creator, feel free to leave those in the comments below. As I've said several times already, I love talking to you guys. And if there's anyone watching this video that's in the YouTube sphere, whether you're just getting started, whether you've just crossed the line into monetization, or whether you're farther along in the journey than I am, feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments section down below. I'd love to hear what you have to say. As always, do the YouTube stuff. If you enjoyed this video, like it, share it, subscribe to the channel. I promise as soon as my son is back up and healthy again, I will be back into my regular routine of content for this channel. But thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being part of the conversation. Have a wonderful day.